Good morning, everybody. Type your registration number if you can hear me. Okay, I will begin. Good morning once again. We need to straight away start. Last week, we were introduced to KOHA, one of the integrated library softwares that we use to catalog online. On your screen, you should be seeing the web address where we access KOHA from. So please, you type in your browser, that is the internet browser, the address internet.bywatersolutions.com. And when that is done, you'll get a login screen where we shall use this username by water, and the password is also by water. And it will be after doing that that we shall start the cataloging. And this is the screen you get to when you type in that web address, where we shall enter the username and password as earlier shown here. And from this screen, when we click login, we shall get to that screen which shows the modules. Later, we shall click on cataloging. And when we do that, we shall end up here. Today, we shall catalog using this option of a new record. The other option of searching the Z39 will come later, but for today, we shall start with a new record. And I will scroll fast forward to show you the document I will use today. It is one of the documents that was in the exams, question 1. Since we already have the details of that book, it is the very book I will use while cataloging online. I get questions from you on WhatsApp. There are questions I am in position to answer. There are questions which I think you should also be able to do some basic research and answer. So it is not that I'm not interested in what you are doing. The challenge is if you send me a message at 10 or past 10 and you're asking me what ND means, and those are some of the things I will not be able to answer. First of all, the timing, and then secondly, and this is very basic. You can even just search online. This is a standard abbreviation for no date. And then, of course, many other things. I would expect you to be doing some basic research on your own. This is the book. It is already cataloged. This is the main entry. It is the very book I'm going to use online. So I'm going to stop the share. But before I stop the share, perhaps using your phone, you could take a picture in case you do not have those details with you. Please just take a picture before I stop the share, and then we start cataloging using KOHA. So I hope everybody has taken a picture of this. I want to begin. Shakira, why is it that mine refused? What has refused? Is it the KOHA? You know, when you say mine has refused, it is as if we already had a conversation and now it is a continuation. I can't follow what has refused. KOHA, by the way, I'm not yet there. That is where I'm heading. And if I go there and it refuses, then it is as good as the lecture won't take place. We'll have to think of something else to do. But I think, Shakira, you are not capturing the details well. The web address, you make one mistake, it will not work. So I close or stop the share. I'll go back now, go online and type in intranet by water solutions to get the screen before I share. I want the screen to come and then I share. So now I'm able to share that screen. When I typed in intranet.bywatersolutions.com, I go to the screen. The username is already there by water. The password is also there by water. In case you are not sure, you remove this and then type it again by water. I'm clicking to log in, and now I'm logged into KOHA. So it shouldn't refuse as long as you have typed in the right web address. When I get to this screen in the integrated library management system called KOHA, we click on the cataloging module. There are other modules like saturation, patrons, serials, acquisitions. Those we shall not use. I'm using the cataloging module. So I click cataloging and I get to this screen. On that screen, and I think now I just have to begin. What are we cataloging? It is a new record. So I'll click on this drop-down menu. And among all these, there are acquisitions, article, audio cassette, binders. Among all these, I'll select book because it is the one we are to catalog. But of course, there are others which are confusing. I see book with 3 V's, books, booklets, what books. But I prefer going to the book, which is straightforward. I click. And when I click, I wait to see what we get. It looks like nothing is happening. We are not yet getting the screen to start the cataloging. So I hope I'm not impatient. I'll click back once. I go back. If this is not working, let me try books, booklets, and workbooks. So I click that, and indeed it is the one that is working. And when I get to that screen, I hope everybody is following. We on tag 0. That is why it is highlighted in blue. And it has many fields. Some are relevant, some are not. But you will notice that we have fields which are required, meaning that if we don't fill that field, then you will not be able to save the book that you are cataloging. So the first field, which is 000, it is the leader, and it is a fixed length control field. And this, we have never learned anything about it. But for you to fill this field, you just click in this box. When I click, automatically some characters appear. What that means, I do not know, but it is a requirement in this software. So you just click there, then the characters that you see have appeared, and that is all we do there. Then there's a field for date and time of latest transaction. You'll notice that we have not been recording this in our entries, so I'll let it go. There's another one, fixed length data elements, additional material characteristics, general information. That is also not for us. Then there's 100 under 007, physical description fixed length. I'll click in there, nothing happens. But take note that there is this. That is if you want that tag to appear the second time, and then there is that when you don't want the tag to appear. Now, for instance, if I don't want this to appear here, I'll just click there, and then it will not be part of what we are filling in. 020 is one of the tags that we need to fill, the International Standard Book Number. And I click in the field where I'm supposed to fill that detail. And I will start filling in the International Standard Book Number. Namila says, I've left you. Where have I left you? In fact, what you should do, just go to 020. That is where we are starting to fill anything for this book. So tag 020 has only one subfield A. And I click there to fill in the ISBN. It is 978. I am not leaving spaces. 110011793. And I put the qualification in brackets. It is HBK. So I've filled the standard book number as given on the document. I've put it under field 020. 024, not relevant. 037, not at this point. And all the rest I've omitted. You remember, we can also have a Library of Congress call number. We are not classifying using this, but we are classifying using the Dewey Decimal Classification number. If we know the edition, I think the latest edition is 22nd, 21st. I'll put 22nd. You are classifying. I hope you know which one you are using at the moment. The class number or classification number for this book is 006.37, and it is class number. However, what we have been calling book number for them, they call it item number. This might be confusing until when we are done. This book was written by Prince. Prince is the surname. I'll put PRI. But in case later we find that by item number they mean something else, then we'll have to change this. I'm thinking if we add more than one copy of this book, then we would have item numbers. But if it is not the case, then I've taken this to be the book number for now. So we are done with tag 0, and I cannot save now. I want to go through all the tags before I save. So I click tag 1, and under tag 1, we have the tag 100. You can see when I point there, it tells me this is for the main entry when we select the personal author as the heading. So main entry when we have a personal author. The first field is not active. I'll move to the next one where we record the personal name, starting with the surname, which is Prince. Apply a comma space, Simon, and the initials JD. And in case, that is the first subfield. In case we add dates associated with the name, for instance, date of birth, date of death, then that is where we would enter those details. But for this book, we didn't have any. I would move to the next field. Field 110 is not relevant because we didn't have a corporate author. Neither did we have a meeting name, neither did we have a uniform title. So it was field 100, which was relevant. So tag 100, we have filled in the relevant details. We are now ready to move to tag 2. Under tag 2, 240 is for uniform title, which is not applicable. 243, collective uniform title. This uniform title or collective uniform title applies to publications which are in form of a collection, such that you have to come up with one title which uniformly combines that collection. So these are not relevant to our publication. And the 245 is what is relevant, where we need to capture the title. So I'll go to 245 to record the title. You can see the subfields. The subfield A, this is where we recorded the title proper, and it is a required element. We cannot omit to record the title of a publication. Then what they have called the remainder of title, that is the other title, which is subfield B. And then subfield C is the statement of responsibility. Medium is confusing. That one we shall leave it blank. Title of the publication, title proper is Computer Vision. And the challenge or the setback with KOHA is that we have to input the punctuation devices by ourselves, which is not the case with other software. So I've left a space and I type a colon space before I move to the other title or the remainder of the title. So I've put the punctuation above, and the other titles is models, learning, and inference. I don't know what happened. Most of you are writing things which were not there. Models, you are writing medal. And of course, that is not right. So please, when you are writing your entries, capture the accurate information given on the publication. So our other title, which is the remainder of the title under subfield B, is models, learning, and inference. The punctuation device is above there already given. Next, statement of responsibility. But before that, above I leave a space, / space, before I move down to give the statement of responsibility as it was given on the publication, Simon J. D. Prince. That is how the author's name was printed on the title page. Medium, because I'm not sure what information to capture under this, I will not guess, I'll leave it blank. 246, varying form of title, we don't have any. 250 is where we record the edition statement, and indeed this publication as an edition. I'll check to confirm if there is any problem in the chat. There is none. I continue. So our edition statement, remember before writing the edition, we leave a space, full stop space, dash space, and it is first edition. I've typed that, and the punctuation this time I've given it in front. That is before the edition statement. I don't have any other remainder of edition statement. Under edition area, we have statements of responsibility relating to the edition, for which they have referred to as remainder of edition. This we shall learn this semester. Statements like revised and enlarged edition, we shall see how those are handled. But for this book, we don't have anything to fill in there. 260 is the publisher, publication, distribution details. In other words, the imprint. Where was the book published from? That is the place, the name of the publisher, and the date of publication. So 260 is a field we shall fill. When we are starting a new area, you leave a space, full stop space, dash space. Place of publication, New York. I type New York, leave a space before giving the name of publisher. On the next line, we shall use a colon space. And now when I go to subfield B, I just write the name of the publisher, which is Cambridge University Press. And after the name of the publisher, we apply a comma space. And I'll give in subfield C, I'll give the year of publication, which is a copyright year 2012, comma, there is a year of reprint, reprinted 2017. You will notice that it is after that detail where we shall note the place of printing and the name of the printer and the date of printing. So straight away, in parentheses, the place of printing is Glasgow, which is in the UK, space, colon space, and the name of the printer is Bell and Bain Limited. And there is no date, so after comma, space, we shall give ND, which means no date of printing has been given. I hope whoever added that question, the meaning of ND has been answered. So that is where the first paragraph ends. And 264 is for production, publication, distribution, manufacturer statements. In case we were dealing with a video cassette, then that is when we will talk of production, distribution, or manufacture. So our details for a book are captured under 260. If this was a material in another form, then maybe 264 would have applied. And that ends tag 2. I move to tag 3. And before I continue, under tag 3, if you have a question, confirm what the question is before I proceed. If it looks like everybody is on board, and if everybody is okay now, I can proceed. I just want to confirm whether Martha, you were lost. If you are found now, please inform us that now you are found. Rosemary, you are saying no. What is the no for? Are you okay? We proceed. If for Rosemary everything is okay, oh, you are now, our war is okay. Rosemary, I hope you're also okay, then I can proceed. So tag 300 is where we describe the publication physically. I hope some of you are not sending messages. I hear messages on the phone, and I'm not giving attention to messages on the phone. So please ensure that your queries, you just type in the chat. So tag 300 is for physical description. And I just want to test and see. When I point here, it tells me I click to expand this tag. Though I believe it is already expanded, that is why we can see this. So when I click again, what happens? Nothing. When I click on repeat, ideally we should get another 300, which is awkward. You can see tag 300 there and tag 300 there. So it means this second one is redundant. So I will use this to delete it. So I have only 1300. So there are certain things I will not go into now, but please take note of tag 300 as various subfields. Subfield A, and this is where we note the extent, in other words, the pagination, Roman and Arabic pages. Then tag B are the other physical details, whether the book has illustrations. So that is the other physical detail. Tag C is for dimensions, and indeed, the explanatory words are already there. But in case you are not sure, you just point in the subfield, then it will tell you what it represents. Type of unit is confusing. Size of unit, F and G might not be applicable to books. So we will stop at accompanying material if this book had accompanying material. If it doesn't, then we shall stop at dimensions. So starting with subfield A, extent. How many Roman pages? Remember, for Roman pages, we do not need any punctuation device. We can start a new paragraph. We have 11 Roman pages. I've typed XI, apply a comma, and the Arabic pages are 580 with a small p and a full stop. And this is a required field. You cannot catalog a book and it does not have pagination. That is not possible. So that is why they also emphasize this is a required field. Cloning, I hope everybody knows what cloning means. Cloning is like making another copy. And then we can also delete that subfield, but since it is a required field, we cannot delete it. After the Arabic pages, 580, before giving the other physical details, the punctuation device after space is a colon. Joanna is raising their hand. Therefore, I check in the chat. I don't see any question. I hope the hand was raised in error. I prefer you type your question or ask in the question and answer. I respond. I'm using webinar where all of you are muted. So, Shakira, it is. There is a full stop and then a space colon. Yes, that is true. The full stop is appearing because of the abbreviated P. P with a dot is the standard abbreviation for the word page or the word pages. So there is a full stop there and then a space before we get to the colon. And after the colon, there is a space. I move to other physical details. This book has illustrations, and some of those illustrations are colored. So some colored. That is how we shall record a publication which has black and white, and whereas some of those illustrations are also colored. So ill in brackets, some colored. And after the other physical details, leave a space, semicolon space, and then record the dimension. It's 26 centimeters. And the word centimeters is abbreviated as cm. The book doesn't have accompanying material. Accompanying material would include CDs, DVDs. It could be a booklet if it was a DVD. And I still see Jonah raising their hand. Please, I cannot figure out why you keep on raising your hand. And then I don't see any question in the chat. So accompanying material, type of unit and size of units, we'll leave them blank. 336 is for content type. And when I look at the details, there is source, material specified, linkage, field link, and sequencing number. All these are not relevant to books. So that tag 336 is not appropriate. And when I look at 336 and then relate it to 337, you can see that this is area or details. Content type, media type. But we shall leave them blank for now until when I look at area O in detail, then maybe we'll understand better what all this means. 338 is carrier type. I'm imagining what kind of format or medium they are using when they say carrier type. But for books, we have indeed described the book physically. So the tag that is relevant for books is 300. I move to tag 4, and this is the series area tag. If we add the series title, we'll record it there, numbering within the series, then sections, volume, international serial, standard serial number, all these would appear there. This book does not have a series title, so this tag, we shall not fill in anything. And we have not had a number of books which are series books, but we shall be getting more, and then this will be relevant. And funny enough, the subfield tagging is different. There is ANPVX. I wonder why they moved away from the ABCD. Those are some of the issues in KOHA which need to be standardized. Tag 5, it is where we shall handle the note area. If we add a general note, we'll give it under 500, 505, formatted contents note, 520, summary, etc. I think our appendix, bibliography, index, we shall put under this. And I want to use this. There are others which are not relevant to the current book we have, but we can use 500 or 520. So when I click in the word summary, it will expand. And now you can see I have where to type. Previously, it wasn't there. And that is for repeating the tag, and that is for deleting the tag. And when I delete, I've not seen anything happening. So there is something there that maybe is not functioning. Subfield A is summary, etc. Expansion of summary note, uniform resource identifier. I'll just use the first box. Of course, having started a new paragraph for the note, we have appendices which are appearing on page 507. If I'm giving another note, I leave one space, full stop space, dash space. We have a bibliography, space, colon space. Bibliography is on page 533. Leave a space, full stop space, dash space. We also have an index, space, colon space. Index is starting from page 567. You will notice that I have not given where they end. Each of these, I just gave the where they start from. Why? That information was not available to you, but when you have the book, you'll be able to give the starting and the ending page of a given note. So under summary, you see they said etc. That is why I've put the appendix, bibliography, index under that etc. So our note area is done, and then we would use 500 for something which is general in nature. For instance, if the book changed its title, previously maybe it was Animal Farm, and now what was Animal Farm is called Pig Farm. So those are the kinds of notes we can give under general. But these I've given under tag 520. So I think that is all we shall record under tag 5. Tag 6 is where we give the added entries. And I got a question from one of your colleagues who was asking that when we are cataloging online, don't we prepare the added entries? Indeed, we do, but all we need to do is to just go to whatever is relevant among these and type it there. We don't create another card as such, the way we have been doing it. So for the added entries for this book, I have one subject added entry and then a title added entry. So under tag 6, if we add a subject, which is a personal name, then I'll click on that and type it there. If we add a subject, which is a corporate name, we'll use that. Subject, which is a meeting name, subject, which is a uniform title. But I have a subject, which is a topic. This is what I will use. So I'll use subject, which is a topic. So the tag to use is 650 when we want to prepare a subject added entry. Source of heading or term. These terms, we get them from the Sayers list of subject headings. You remember in our entry, in original cataloging, we didn't have that option to mention where we got the heading or the subject from. But in online cataloging, we are given that option. Then under subfield E, topical term. It can also be geographic. But now mine is topical. The term is computer simulation. That was the right subject for that book. So that is all I needed it to do. Topical term following geographic name, that one we do not have. Location of event, active dates, related term. Form division would have been relevant. Assuming this was a periodical, then we would have a form division. Meaning that we would put a dash and then mention that it is a periodical. If it was a dictionary, still, that is another example of a form division. General subdivision, nothing chronological. This deals with dates. And then geographic subdivision will deal with the geographical areas. Assuming this was a book on computer simulation in Uganda, then the geographic subdivision would have been after dash, of course, it would have been Uganda. But since we do not have a geographic subdivision, we don't. If it had a period, say like in the 21st century, then after dash, we do note that it is 21st century. But indeed, still this does not apply, so we leave that blank. We can also have a subject when it is a geographic name, subject uncontrolled, very many options. And these, you just look at them. In case you have a subject which applies to any one of these, then that is when you'll use those tags. But just to note that the main relevant tag under this is when the subject is topical, or it is a topic. That is when we use tag 650. I move to tag 7 to give options of other added entries in case I don't have what is happening. Okay, I was thinking I'm alone. Hey, I was thinking I was alone in the meeting, but no. So I hope everybody is still with us. If you have seen what we have done in tag 6, just type tag 6 and we move. In the chat, type tag 6 and we move if you are still following. Okay, those are following. If you have a question where you are not following, please also indicate what is not clear before we proceed. I'm just seeing tag 6, tag 6. If you were following, clearly give the actual tag that we used for subject added entry. It wasn't 600, Catherine. Please type the actual tag. 600 wasn't. Yes. Joanna has typed in the Gire. Yeah, that is the correct one. So we now move to tag 7. Under tag 7, remember tag 6 add options for subjects, subject added entries. Tag 7 has option for added entries where it is a personal author. So please, assuming this book had joint authors, then that is what we would use. But this was a single author publication. So there is no added entry for another author. There is also no added entry for a corporate author, no added entry for meeting name. So tag 7 does not apply for this book. And when it doesn't apply, we move to the next tag, which is tag 8. Tag 8 is when we have series added entry. And those series added entry are of various types: personal name, corporate, which of course we have not seen, meeting name, uniform title, and many others. Normally, the series added entry is under title, not necessarily the uniform title, but it is under title. So in absence of title, we shall use uniform title added entry for those books with series added entry. And still tag 8 does not apply. So we'll move to tag 9. And tag 9 gives details we don't give in entries when we are doing original cataloging. For instance, it is tag 9, but now it is telling us 270 publication distribution details address. We do not give the address in our entries, otherwise we will not be economical in preparing the catalog. So that one does not apply. 365 publication distribution details, trade price. And normally we give price of a document, but that one comes after the ISBN. Publication is trade availability information, immediate source of acquisition. So all these, and I want people to note the errors in this software. It is tag 9, but again, all these do not belong there. So there is a bug or an error which needs to be fixed. those shouldn't have appeared here. Each one of these should have appeared in their own tag heading. 270 under 2, 365, 366 under 3, etc. But what might be relevant is tag 942, and this is added entry elements in KOHA. Source of classification or shelving scheme is automatically there, there with decimal classification. Let me see if we have other options. Yes, we do. But of course, we don't use Library of Congress, so I maintain DDC. Item type. Is it a book? What is it? And indeed, we have options here, but you can see they are repeated. Another error there, which needs also to be fixed. And then edition. I'm thinking they are referring to the edition of the DDC, but we have no options. So I type 22nd edition. I hope it will remain there. Normally it doesn't. Select to create. So I'm creating a new authorized value, authorized name, authorized value, description of pack. I'm not familiar with this, so I'll just let it go. Classification part, call number prefix. I think this is where the PRI should have appeared, which we recorded earlier as item number. Call number suffix, that one does not apply. Suppress in opaque, not applicable. So in tag 9, I've just entered those details. And in case there is an error we have made, when I go to save, it will alert me that there are elements you have not filled. So having filled the relevant fields in these tags up to 9, then that is when we can save our record. And it says it can't save this record because the following field aren't filled. Tag 008 subfield, or it is a fixed length control field, is not filled. So I say, okay, go back to tag O, and then it is here. This is the one, and it is a required field. And this is something I don't need to fill myself. It gives fixed length data elements, general information. When I go there and click, those things automatically appear. And when they appear, I've fixed the problem. So I can go back and save. And when I click save, of course, we are working online. Internet must be on. If it is off, then all the time we have spent, we will have lost it. It has saved. And our item is Computer Vision by Prince Simon JD in our opaque or online public access catalog. It is a record 118000. Remember, I've entered this on my PC. If you are also doing the same using your computer, we'll end up with the same record, but that number will not be the same. The one I entered on my computer is 118000. That is how I can identify it. You could also have entered it. I've been entering the same details, so the recording number will be different from this. I continue. We want to add this item to our opaque, but we need also to give other details. Withdrawn status, has it been withdrawn? No. Lost status, no, it is not lost. Remember, we are just cataloging it. Yeah, but eventually, if we cataloged this book, put it on the shelves, and then it gets lost, then we have that option of specifying. So if someone borrowed it and it is long overdue, you have that option. Lost and paid for, missing. Assuming it is missing, then you would put that. And this would occur when it is maybe misshelved. But since none of those is applicable, I will not put anything. Source of classification or shelving scheme, DDC. True, that one is already there. Bound volume or other part, this is area 3, we shall look at it later. Is the book damaged? Dog damage, torn cover, whatever this means, I think this is an error. Not for loan, we have books which are reserved or in the reserve section. We would say not for loan, you have to read it from the library. Collection code, reference, non-fiction, fiction. If it is reserved, we would say it is a reserved book. Home library. Now, where do we find this book? If we add easily among these, we would put easily. So this software needs to be customized. In case you are using it or you intend to use it, you would customize it and then put an option of your library among these. But for now, let me just pick the Department of Library and Information Science. That is the home library, current library. So many details. Maybe the home library was the department, but now the current library could be in courses. So that you would put there. Shelving location. So many options. Where can we put this? These are things you will customize depending on your library. So I might not be filling in all these. Data acquired. When I click there, it should come automatically. Today is 2nd, today is 3rd. So assuming this book was acquired today, I'll click 3rd and then it appears there, November 2021. Source of acquisition, if you purchased all those, but we have an option for that, post normal purchase price. Omitting all those details, full call number. Now you can see it has already combined the class number and the book number. So that is the call number. Barcode, it is generated automatically. Now remember, books are charged and discharged using barcodes. So the library should be having a barcode reader, like the ones in supermarkets. So even our books can be tagged with barcodes. Copy number, if there is more than one copy, you would indicate the copy number there. Uniform resource identifier. This is if it is an electronic book, then that uniform resource identifier will be relevant. Blah, 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 blah. Having done all that, now you will add the item. If it is in more than one copy, you will add and duplicate. If there are multiple, add multiple copies of this item. But for me, I'll just click add the item. And all these actions I'm depending on the internet. The internet must be good enough not to misbehave. Otherwise, kunda kwe networks. Joanna, I'm so lost. Please go back on tag 90942. And then I have okay, if you can hear, just type yes, and then I proceed. Okay, now the network went off. Someone called me. And when you call the phone I'm using to share internet with a computer, that one normally happens. So what has happened is even the screen I was sharing went off. That is how annoying it is. Of course, the person who was calling, I don't think that is a student. Maybe it was a parent. I did not receive the call, but it has removed off our screen where we were. But remember, I tried to record the details of the record. I hope our record had already been added. So let me log in to the system. And what do I get before I even search? Bibliography record not found. Interesting. I am at this stage, and this is where we can search the catalog. What am I searching for? I want to see if I can find Prince Simon Jedi. I submit. It is taking me to the login. Okay, I log in again. And that could be a network issue. And I'm connected. Here I am. Records found in the catalog. 40 results found in the catalog. It means some of you out there are also entering the same details. Now, for me, I did not enter with the word edition written in full like this. So that couldn't be mine. Then there is this one. I doubt whether it is the one until when I check the recorded number. And these were the ones found in OPAC, assuming it is the first one there. It is giving me unknown record. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go to the catalog and then search, but I didn't want to go this far. For now, keyword, we can use author as a phrase. We can also have another one. Another person is calling. We just put off that one. I will first stop this and stop the share and see if we are following by going back through the process one more time. But this time around, I'm going to ask each one of you using their record book to enter details of the book you recorded in your record book. I first share my screen. I go to the internet. I have shared that screen. Of course, you might look at this. You might not be familiar with it. I go to the home screen, where I pick the cataloging module. I click cataloging, and the option we used was new record. I just want to demonstrate this one more time. When we selected new record, Among all these, we tried the book, it didn't work. I selected books, booklets, and workbooks, which I've done. And we went through all these tags, and I want to repeat tag O because that is where we had the query. 000 is required. I click there, those characters appear, I move. 008 is also required. I type, in fact, I click, and then it is the ISBN which we filled in on that screen. You'll do for tag 1, yeah, and this tag 100 is what is applicable. These others are not. Under tag 2, tag 245, we shall fill tag 250, and I believe by now you have a pen. It is like when you go to tag 1, you should record the full tag that you need to fill. When you're on tag 1, you will notice that under tag 1, tag 100 is when the main entry goes under author. So you take note of that. Main entry, when the main entry is personal author. We can have a main entry who is not a personal author. So that is what I pick from tag 1. Tag 2, you will notice that under tag 2, the relevant tags, we have 245 for the title and statement of responsibility. Then 250 is for the edition statement. 260 for the publication and other details. 264 we did not use. Under tag 3, you will notice that 300 is relevant for the physical description, and that is all we used there. 4 was series, it wasn't applicable to this book. 5, not area, we used 520, though someone could have opted to use 500. Under 6, this is when we are dealing with subject added entry 650, and those are the subjects which are topical. Under tag 7, we did not use. This was a single author publication, so all these were not applicable. Tag 8, series added entry, was also not applicable. Tag 9, I said these first ones are there in error, so we ignore. And someone was asking me about 942. So 942, not everything that appears here we should use, but there are things which are required. What item was it that we were cataloging? You go there, it was a book. So we shall select a book. Source of our classification number, it is DDC. And then edition, in case it was active, we'll just pick the edition and put it there. But call number prefix is that PRI, the book number. So nothing much here, as long as we ensure we have captured the right details which are required. And having done all this, or having filled in all that, that is when we go to save. And there is an option for saving, but there is also a down option there. You can save and view records, save and edit items, save and continue editing. And it is after doing this, that is when our cataloging record will appear in the pack. And how do we search? Having saved, we shall go back to home. And then when you look at the options here, checkout, check-in, renew, search patrons, there's search catalog. And if this is highlighted, I'll go and search for Prince Simon JD, which I did earlier, and then I submit. And that is how we catalog online. This time around, I'm getting better options. And we have not handled this, but you can see how good online cataloging is. There is that possibility of also uploading the cover or the top cover of the book. And since I didn't do this, so it is unlikely that this is the one I entered. So this must have already been in the opaque. And then I get other books. And these images are from Amazon.com. So in case you are cataloging a book, you can get those images from there. So briefly, I wanted to see if I can get the one I cataloged, but most likely it had not been saved by the time the network went off. There's a question and answer. Pardon on tag 1 and 2. I think it is now time for everybody to try out. And the catalog, I'm not going to the second option. This is what we are going to do. And please pay attention. I believe each one of you started their internship. And at the end of your internship, let me stop the share. At the end of your internship, you'll be writing a report. We want to practice, and this we cannot do when we are online. So this is what I want you to do. I'm typing it in the chat. Assume you have finished writing your internship report. We want to come up with bibliographic details which are different, which are unique to you. So if you have already finished, we are assuming you have already finished writing your internship report. It means your report has a title, there is the author, there must be a place where it was published. All those details we are going to assume. And then, of course, if you are the author, we don't expect any other person to come up with a similar publication in this opaque. If you are done with that assumption, what are we going to do? I'm sharing my screen one more time. You will go to opaque. On this screen, I'm already logged in. I am just moving backwards. When you log into opaque, how? You go to intranet.bywatersolutions.com and then you enter the system. I'll have to do it one more time for those who are not there at the beginning. When you get that address typed in, you enter. And when you do, it will take you to the login page. Why isn't it taking me? I'm already in the system now. I wanted to log out and to go backwards. Where is the log out? Check in, submit. See, log out. So I'm logging out. And It is on this screen where you will type the username by water, and then the password also by water, and then you log in. After logging in, you go to cataloging, and then you'll practice using the new record option. I click new record, then you'll click books, booklets, and workbooks. When you click that, now you are ready to fill in those details. You will find that you do not have a standard book number. Those are things you are going to assume. Alternatively, pick any book from your record book, but ensure when it comes to main entry personal author, there you will put your name as the author. We want to see that at least later you can retrieve what you have cataloged in the system. So that is the exercise I want you to do. I don't think it is wise to continue doing other stuff when you have not practiced. So that is the classwork for today. And I also request that the online session ends here, and you use the remaining 1 hour to at least catalog one book. And then when we meet next, unfortunately, what we input in the system does not stay there for long. It is normally deleted automatically. So when you have succeeded in inputting some document, we need to look at it, and then before it is taken away. So please, that is the exercise I want us to perform. In the chat, people are saying I entered the correct details, but mine totally refused. But you have not shared the chat. I don't understand what Mariam says. I've not. Justin Nafuna, your login details refuse to work because you are making errors. That could be the only reason why it's not working. I've not shared the chat. I don't know what that means. I entered the correct details, but mine totally refused. I just wrote, assume you have finished writing your internship report. But later said that instead of assuming an internship report, just pick one publication from your record book and ensure you are the author. Then you enter those details. And then Jackson says, but we have not seen how you are adding the item. Now, Jackson, you are going to see yourself. How will you be seeing this? You will reach a stage after you have filled in all these tags, and then when you click on save, you can save and view record. And then later, the option for adding the item will appear. And I want to pick it up from there. When you have tried at least entering all these tags, you have also saved. And now we want to add to the catalog. So that is all for today. My phone and email will be active during the day to see how you have succeeded or failed in this activity. Still, Joanita Nakaga says, I didn't get tag 9, and I'm saying that please go online when you are alone on your computer. You will see what works and what doesn't work, and that is where we shall start from. And then Alifa, Katia, will you see our catalog stuff, or how can we share it with you? That is exactly what I want you to go through. that you indeed did something, and maybe you can see it, but when it is time for me to see it, it is nowhere. Walusimbi, your network was not stable in child health. Interesting. I hope it will be stable when we are not there. So please attempt that. And I'll give you this story. I did request a previous class, and by then we were meeting face to face. We did this in class. I requested each one of them to catalog 5 books, and they did not. And if you check the records in the past papers, there was a question asking them what steps they took to catalog a book in KOHA. Of course, you start by logging in, you know the password, the web address, and then you go through all those tags. And they couldn't. And it was question number 1, which was compulsory. So please ensure that you try it out. Atem says, please convert your recordings to MP3. And Atem, I'm going to tell you that I'm ignorant how to convert my recordings. If you have access to the recording in Mwere, convert it yourself. And when you master how to convert that MP3, then you'll teach the rest of us. Previously, when I was using my desktop in Office, the presentations would normally come out in a format which is compatible with even YouTube, and I would upload the videos immediately. But now, with this laptop, it comes out in a different file format, which I'm not able to convert simply because I've not yet tried out. When I try it out and I succeed, then you'll even get those online. So I want to stop here today. Please let us meet tomorrow. By tomorrow, everybody will have done something. I'll be answering the queries, the challenges you met. Have a nice day. I'm ending the presentation now.